Hi, welcome. Welcome to this client spotlight. And this, I actually have another person with me here where I have a client of mine, Sandra, and I do this client spotlights with all my clients. And it's a way for them to show off, of course, what they do and how they work and what they work with. Because in my audience, there is, of course, a lot of people that might be interested in what my clients do. And also, I get a chance to show off my clients and get the kind of social proof of the clients, and they get to promote their event. So if you become a client of mine, this is what we do. We promote your event to my audience. So welcome, Sandra. I have Sandra Bergman with me, and she is actually from Sweden, and she is an intimacy coach. And she helps men and women to find emotional and sexual intimacy. So welcome on joining, Sandra. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm fine. I'm glad to be here. Feels really good.
Great. And you became a client of mine, I think it's almost like 2 years ago, isn't it?
Yes. Actually, I think it's 2 years. Boom.
I think so. I think so as well. And you are in my higher tier program, the Get Clients Revolution, which is a larger incubator that you were a part of, and then you kept on going. We have, for all clients that have been in our program, you can actually keep the access, keep the Q&A session, everything in our membership. And that is where you are, Sandra, because you have been with me for 2 years.
Yes.
And I want to go back a little bit before we kind of look forward, because when you came to me, had you run any kind of events to sell your offers?
No, I had not. No.
So you were kind of brand new to this speaking and selling. And I mean, you
brand new.
but do you feel like you have grown from,
yes,
say, from your first
certainly.
one?
Yes, I have. So much.
Then you run them still in Swedish, the virtual events, right?
Yes, I do. I do still, but it's in transition over to English.
You have some plans for after the summer, right?
Yes, I do.
And that is why we wanted to do this as well, because you're entering the international stage.
Whee! Yes, I do. I'm growing.
But what is really important to know about Sandra is that she doesn't only run virtual events. You actually have an in-person, it's like a Tantra Retreat coming up in Sweden, right? Can you share us a little bit about that? Because that is international. People are traveling far to get to this event.
Oh, this is going to be 5 amazing days where you really get to learn the Tantra, the authentic Tantra. And it's for those people who really want to, immerse themselves into the chakra systems and into emotions and sexuality, and also to do this in a beautiful, we're going to be in a venue at the countryside where there's these lakes you can swim in, and they are so famous for their food. It's a conference center. It's really beautifully in Sweden. And we're going to work a lot in couples, but most of the people who actually are coming are singles. But we do, because Tantra is much about polarities, feminine and masculine energy, and how to get to know yourself in a deeper level. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to work with the first 4 chakras, 1 for each day. And it's going to be lots of juicy and active, dynamic meditations and practices.
That sounds awesome. When is this event? It's in July, right?
3rd to 7th of July.
So this is an in-person event. It's an in-person event on a venue. So we're going to share the link for anyone that are listening that are interested in maybe traveling to Sweden, have a beautiful vacation, and at the same time joining Sandra on her in-person event. We're going to share the link to that event, right? So you can check it out. And if you have any questions about that event, join Sandra and connect with her when it comes to that. But you also sell these like a coach online, right?
Yeah.
So you run what was the kind of, you run one event before Christmas, right? And one now be in March or something.
In March, yes.
What event it is that you have run?
I'm sorry?
What kind of event is it? Is it a webinar?
It's a virtual webinar, 3 days, where we're going to, you know, since I'm working with intimacy, so I'm going to teach the ones who attend to different perspectives on intimacy. So we're going to start with the foundation, which is how we relate to each other. So that's going back to the childhood and looking at programmings and things. Oh, I don't know the English word. Anknytningssystem, attachment theory. Yeah,
that sounds really great.
And then we're going to this. That's the first day. So we're really going to dig into what kind of attachment style do you have, because that affects your love life. And the second day we're going into emotions, because we cannot be ourselves if we're not in contact with our emotions. So that's really, and how to mature emotionally. That's really important. And the third,
yeah, I just want to point out, as you hear Sandra speak, you can right now hear that when people enter this virtual event, it's like a journey, right? It's built like a journey. And I think that is important to point out, because a lot of people built their events really informational based, and it doesn't kind of transition into something into the offering itself. And now when you listen to this, you can actually see the journey in front of you, because it is like a journey for them, right?
It is. Yes.
Program that you sell, what kind of program do you sell?
So it's a 6 months program online where they have 6 modules. So it's one new module for each month, where they actually will dive very deep into this different perspectives on intimacy. So it's sexually, it's emotionally, and then there's also every week we have a group coaching call. So all the participants come to a Zoom meeting, and they can bring the questions and celebrations and fears and everything that shows up. And I will give them, you know, support and guidance online live. And we also have this Facebook group, a private Facebook group, where we also share, all the participants share what's going on, the journey, ask for help if they need that, or just to be seen and heard. So it's a really held container. It's really deep work.
And the how much does it cost? It's like a medium ticket, right?
Yes. So in dollars or in Swedish?
We just so the audience have an idea what it is that you sell from this 3 days.
Yes. So it's $2,500.
So we have a medium ticket offer here, right?
Yes.
And you actually did, and it was kind of funny because the last you actually closed in the closed clients in the event in itself. But there was one that bought, like, what was it, 3 weeks after or something like that?
Yes.
That is the power, because what we have worked a lot with is your online presence, how you post your content and these kind of things to become that really iconic, because you are the brand. And this is why I love to talk to you, because you're in such a unique niche, and it's a tough niche to work online. Why? Because there is a lot of words that you can't use. We have played around the wording, right? To be ordered so you don't get blocked and stuff like that. Have you find that challenging?
Sometimes, but now I feel really confident using the words I'm using. And it really works.
And it works. But in the beginning, there was a lot of issues with the wording. But it's important to see that even this intimacy, this kind of niche that is hard to work online, you can work online and you can run events. Do you feel like, if you compare to what you have done before, do you feel like the event works with this connection that you have? Because they need to feel really they need to trust you a lot to invest in and open up, right?
Yeah, they do. And it's really working. Absolutely. No problem. I mean, if we connect and they book a call and we talk and they share the story and why they are kind of connecting with me, I can clearly see if this is the right for them or not, and if I'm the right person, and if this program or whatever they are interested in, if it's the right. And think I have a quite high conversion rate after connecting. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's important to mention that when it comes to conversion, so some people kind of look at, oh, it didn't convert that well. You are a standing example that sales can come in weeks after, because people need sometimes more time.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's important to not kind of lean in by continue posting. And you actually run exactly the same events twice, right? Yes. You just repurpose.
I do.
Do you feel that is a strategy that works to repurpose content and things?
So far, yes.
Saves a lot of time, right?
It does. I haven't, what I recommend though is that you organize everything. So this time I'm actually organizing even better. So I really find the pictures where I want them and the posts, and I have dates in which order. And I still think it's beautiful content, and it's going out daily, twice a day. I have people subscribing every day, and the webinar is in 2 weeks. So yeah, I think it's working.
That is a good point, organizing, because what is going to happen otherwise is that, first of all, we don't track what works and what doesn't work. And we need to go back and find posts and whatever. And there will be posts that you totally forget. So Sandra had a really good point there to when you want to repurpose, because I do recommend everyone to repurpose everything, is to put it in folders. Like Sandra does, she have it what day and a folder with pictures. So she can just copy and paste, because that is what saves you time. And if you want to save time working online and don't spend hours on social media, repurpose content is key. And you can take a text, turn it into a video, vice versa, and stuff like that, right? So good point, organizing, because you have spent a lot of time afterwards in going in and organize, right?
Yeah.
Could have been saved, but now it's organized. So now it's just coming up. So you have 2 weeks until the next one, right? So you're in the middle of lead generation.
Yes, I am.
So how many did you have? The last workshop you ran in March, do you remember how many did you have that signed up for that one?
120.
Yeah, so we had 120, and you don't run any ads.
No. Only organic.
Do you use, what kind of platform do you use? Do you use all the platforms, or are you focusing on one platform?
I'm focusing on Facebook. That's my main platform. I also post some things on Instagram, but I'm not really active there. I'm not so fond of it. So Facebook is my jam.
Like me, I'm not a fan of Instagram either. So we can say like 120 people signed up for your event the last time. How long did you do the lead generation? Do you remember?
I think it was 2 weeks that time, actually. 2.5, perhaps.
Sandra has concentrated on putting out amazing content, right? Which has built her and grows her following that actually love what you do, right? They love you and they love what you do. And they're interested in what you do. Yes. So from just 2 weeks, by doing lead generation content and ask people to sign up every day, she got 100 and how much did we say? 120 leads organically by just people saying, oh my God, of course I need to sign up, right? Yeah. And that is an amazing result, because people are so scared that they're not going to get any people. Have you any advice for people that feel like, oh, I can't post this online because maybe no one shows up?
But you never know who's going to show up. You never know who's going to read it. I mean, even though I don't have many likes, I still think that many people read it. Otherwise, they wouldn't reach out to me. They wouldn't attend. And maybe also, since I have the topic I have, maybe not people don't feel comfortable, pressing like, because they don't want to show the friends that they actually read my kinds of posts. So you never know. And you never know either how, I mean, I have posted things months ago and I still get this notification on Facebook that someone pressed liked on an old post, which can be like 3-4 months old. So you never know.
No, you never know. That is a good point, because people need to come across you multiple times before they take action. And you have a really good point when you tell that in your niche, people might be scared to being judged by friends, family, whatever. So they don't engage. And if you would just looked at your likes, you would probably have given up. And that is so important to not do, right? Because we can feel like, oh, I posted, no one engaged. You never know who is actually reading that post and is affected, and you make an impact on that person's life. You never know.
No.
And you're a really good example for someone that are in a really specific niche, first of all, that built a omnipresence online, really posting quality content. And then you just, hey, I have a workshop, and people are just 100 people are just like, yes, right? Yeah. And you don't need to chase people, right? They are already there, already reading, even if you don't see that they are, right? And I think that is a really good, amazing to point out, because a lot of us get really caught up in, oh, I don't get any likes, so I'm not going to post that again. Oh, you just need to lean in and keep on going, right?
Yeah, you have to really be consistent. You have to show up. You have to do the work. You have to post. Not have to, but from a place of I'm in this for a long term. I am determined it's going to work. So I'm going to show up like I have 1,000 listeners or followers or whatever, because that's the energy that is transmitted as well. So this is my work. This is what I do, and this is what I'm going to do for another 10 years probably. So I think that's also an important mind set we need to have.
Absolutely. To kind of have the energy that we put in to match the outcome that we want, right? If we want people to sign up, if you want 120 people to sign up for your workshop and join, you can't just post one time. That is not the right energy, right? It's not going to work. It's too saturated, too much noise, and too many people online. But I think it's amazing that we have done this with this really kind of hard, not a hard niche, but you have been struggling with not getting canceled and not getting posts removed and find the right wording and stuff like that. And now actually created content for month after month that just repurpose and just grow, right? So you can really concentrate on serving your audience, of course, but also serving your clients, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to look just touch a little bit about the strategy, because you run a 3-day workshop. And do you feel like the format that we use, the format that we teach, have worked for your niche, for your audience?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, yes. I mean, before I was using this strategy and this framework, I wasn't really sure of what I was doing. I was presenting myself. I wasn't selling. So people really, I mean, I have done workshops and webinars before, and people have reached out to me afterwards like, wow, it was so valuable. It was so good. Oh, thank you so much. And that's it. Because I didn't sell. I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know that I actually needed to do the training and give the content and the value, and then transit it over to, so come and join me and learn more, learn how to do the work and how to get the, the tools and everything. So with this framework that you are providing, I really feel that I can sell myself and my work, and that is valuable. And people realizes when I talk about it in this way that yes, it's valuable. So even though I had 2 signs up for the last time in March, I know that there's 1 and 2 on the fence, and maybe they don't join the next time, maybe they join in the summer, but I know that they might be interested after have been on the webinar 1 or 2 times again. So it's not just to sell for the first time, but maybe you have to do it multiple times and then say, yeah, now it's time. So it's the same with the posts. You need to be consistent. That's what I'm learning.
And I think the really good point there about understand to running the reps. Because especially now, if we look at the climate that we have online at the moment when we record this, it's going to take some time for people to do investments. It's just that if you look at yourself, would you just, I'm going to just click and buy here, whatever that is. You might think twice now. And you might want to join a couple of events, and you might want to lurk a little bit in the background, check you out and think about it. And you need to kind of let people do that. I mean, even if we kind of, because we see this mentality to almost chase down sales, and we get so focused on the short term over here that we don't think about the promotity, the long-term gain, what that can this actually give you in the long run. And I said, we have talked about it a lot, Sandra, that sometimes we just need to understand that and think about it long term. Yes. What can this actually give me? And the most important part is if it takes some time, we cannot give up, because you can't build mastery around something if we give up. Nothing is going to happen, right? If we just give up. And we say it to our clients, and you need to act the same way yourself, right?
And it doesn't have to be perfect either the first time. You have to do it sometimes, you know, and improve and see what works and what doesn't work, and just give yourself the freedom to try it out. Yeah, exactly.
And be willing to take that time. Yeah. I mean, to be willing to look at, okay, I sent out 10 emails and 2 of them no one opened. I need to take the time and go in and change them. And if and kind of be willing to track a little bit the result, what actually did work here, so we don't spend time on things that obviously don't work.
Yes.
Then we need to go in and change something. And but we can't know that if we keep on writing new email sequences every time. Brand new, we throw them away and we take a new topic and we write new things, and it doesn't really convert. Okay, I need a new topic, and we design everything on all over again, because every time we create something new, we go backwards before we go forwards if we always start over. That is why, like Sandra said, running the reps of it and see what actually works really well, we do more of that. If it's something that doesn't really work, we try it again. Something is wrong here. We need to change something. But you can never know that if you don't run the reps.
No.
Right? So you need to be willing to actually do that. And if you can get inspired by Sandra, she has been working on an online business for 2 years, and she have not giving up, even if words have been blocked on Facebook, and trying to find the right wording, putting out content, running the reps. I mean, you are an example of someone that you want this.
Yes.
And you're going to do what is required. And it's important.
Absolutely.
that we are. So I want to talk a little bit. You have the upcoming event. And when we record this and as we stream this, it's about 2 weeks to the event. Can you share the date for the upcoming event that we have now?
It's the 8th to 10th of May.
Yeah. And if you touch this recording, I mean, Sandra is running events, so you can just click on her name and there will be something to connect to and join, right? But yes, we are going to focus on the one that is coming up now in May. And it's a 3-day workshop, right? Or a 3-day webinar.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's for anyone, men and women. Can you talk a little bit about the event that is coming up? Share who it's for.
Okay, so the 3-day webinar.
The virtual event.
Yes, and that's for people who are interested in Tantra and intimacy, who wants to improve and have a deeper intimacy and feel wild passion, and with a tantric lens, with a tantric approach. But
we need to mention, because this runs in Swedish, right?
This one runs in Swedish this time, yes.
But the beauty is that if you connect with Sandra here, and you can check her event out, because it doesn't matter, you might not understand what she says, but you can feel her energy, because you are launching after the summer for the international audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and if people are interested, I am so happy to do this in English. And like I do with my coaching, I mean, I do coach English speaking people. So I'm familiar with that too.
Exactly. If it's enough people from joining here, if you connect with Sandra and you tell her, oh my God, we're interested, can you run it in English? We're going to push her out of her comfort zone and she's going to run it before, right?
Yeah,
you never know.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is so fun. So we're going to share all the links. Where do people find you? Is it Facebook? That is the best way to connect with you.
Yes.
Yes. So if you are interested in knowing more about how it is, of course, to work with me, you can ask Sandra, you can send her a DM and ask her. Yes. But if you feel like you want to lean into your intimacy and really explore the Tantra, or maybe travel to Sweden for a vacation now this summer and join her virtual event, connect with her. 5 days. So you see, and there is a lot of other fun stuff to do where they host this, where the venue is, and it's beautiful. Sweden in the summer is beautiful.
Yes.
Right. So it's really worth the trip if you haven't planned anything, or if you're nearby. Is it in the north of Sweden, the south of Sweden you're hosting?
West. So it's close to Gothenburg, which is the second biggest capital in Sweden.
So if you're visiting Denmark, Germany, Poland, close, okay? Close to go to this venue. So make sure you connect with her. Do you have any last word that you want to say if people are listening here and they might be in a mindset of fear? I don't know if I can do it. It sounds scary to do events. I feel awkward. I haven't been on camera. Because do you need to understand that English isn't Sandra's first language here. Her first language is Swedish, and she still does this, right? Do you have any inspiring words for people that are in that state of mind?
Just do it. I mean, if this is really what you want to do, you need to show up for yourself. You need to show up for your business and for the people that actually is, meant to work with you. So just do it, and you will learn during the way. It's really personal development to have a business. And it's fun. It's fun and it's scary and it's challenging and everything in between. So it's so worth it.
And that was a good point. You need to show up for the people, because if you don't do it, you're not showing up for the people that are sitting out there needing your help. At this moment when we speak, people are out there needing your help, right? And they're not going to find you if you're not there. How are they going to find you? They are not going to find you, and they need you. So you need to meet their needs by showing up. And yeah, it can be scary. It's not going to be perfect. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. And I love the beauty by it's not perfect, because that shows people that we are humans too, right? And true. I don't like the thing that things needs to be so perfect, because we live in a circus, especially now. It's like a circus, everybody knows it. So why would we want to pretend? Totally fine to be a little bit scared, right? But we need to do it. Thank you. We need to do it. Just push yourself out of the comfort zone. And look at Sandra. She's here speaking English with me doing this interview. It's really pushing her out of the comfort zone. And if she can do it, you can do it, right? Exactly. So thank you so much for being part of this, Sandra. We are going to see more about you, because we do this clients kind of spotlights a little bit over and over. So you are going to see more of Sandra and more of her posting in my group about the upcoming event, not the virtual because it's in Swedish, but the upcoming in-person event that runs in Sweden. So thank you so much, Sandra.
Oh, thank you for being here.
I really appreciate it, because it's I love these kind of things, because it's both gives me a lot showing off my clients, but also my clients can be seen for a totally brand new audience, because it's my audience, and we stream it everywhere. We put it on YouTube, and it's there for everyone to watch. And it stays there, so people can connect with Sandra a year from now, right? You never know. As she said, you never know when people are watching and who is watching, right? So thank you so much. Exactly. So thank you so much for everyone that has been watching. Connect with Sandra. And if you're interested in working with me, you can just click on my name and send me a direct message on whatever platform that you are watching this on. So thank you so much, everyone. See you next Client Spotlight.